Hi, this is Trevor.
And this is Paul.
And you are listening to the May Contain Action podcast.
Available on Apple, Spotify, and more. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the May Contain Action podcast. For your two favorite content creators, talk content, pop culture, gaming, and other important subjects. I haven't figured out what those important subjects are yet, but I assume that they're very important. It's not really too in-depth. We don't really talk about what the important things are, but they're important. Introducing your hosts, myself. My name is Paul, aka ActionJaxon, and my co-host is
me. It's me. It's Trevor.
I was just gonna let Dead Space.
I'm leaving in an hour. I'm not gone yet.
I was just gonna let Dead Space be there.
I know you were, because you're making this the longest intro in the history of intros.
It's fine. As long as they're all very dramatic. I am Trevor May / Trevor May on baseball. He's on baseball.com. Today we have a very special guest. He's your favorite teacher who taught you stuff about Fortnite that you didn't know. He's incredibly in depth. He's got way too much time on his hands. He may even roast you if you hop on his stream. Got a little roast chair. So be prepared. My man, good friend, Squatingdog! Woo!
Wow.
Squatingdog, baby.
Yes!
I'm honored.
Yes!
Woo! We're all yelling. Yes. Hey, guys.
He's on!
I made it.
I got it. Squatting.
What's up, everyone?
Mr.
Hi.
Dog.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream.
Thank you. It's so good to be here.
We're podcasting right now.
Welcome to the
Welcome to
the
both.
YouTube, even.
It counts.
Even.
Maybe
Welcome to
even Twitter. We'll
SoundCloud.com.
find it out.
Yeah.
You guys have some strong intros for each other, by the way. Really impressive stuff.
We do.
Yeah. Chemistry.
We just let it go, you know? We just let the charisma just roll off the tongue, you know?
Oh, yeah. I like to whip
I feel
it out
like I'm
there
in the
and
same
see
room with you guys. Just like you guys have just the best voices for a podcast. Can I just go on by saying that? Like, I feel honored to be on your podcast because of how wonderful your voices actually sound.
Wow.
Pretty impressive stuff, guys.
I was going to hit you with a hard-hitting political question, but now I'll just erase that one. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a pass on that now.
I appreciate
Wow.
that. Yeah, I try to avoid those.
The compliments. Now,
Those are nice.
now, Mr. Dog, a lot of people call you Jer, right? For short, like your IRL name,
Yeah.
Jer. Now, you don't have to, but can you tell us what Jer is short for?
Yeah, it's short for Jer Mathias.
Huh. I feel like I'm not believing that that's what that's
okay.
short
You're
for.
right. It's Jeremy. Yeah.
It's
My
Jeremy.
my
That's
name is
right.
Jeremy.
Don't want to assume could be a Jeremiah.
Well, here's the
Could be
bummer.
a Jerome.
Yeah. The bummer is my parents decided not to name me Jeremiah. Now, to most people, that's okay. To me, it's a little frustrating because I can pull back a name. You can always go from Jeremiah to Jeremy to Jer to J to and
Yeah, that last one really.
I can never go to Jeremiah. I'm stuck at Jeremy. Like I can never go backwards. So just word to the wise, if you're going to name your child something, make it as long as possible and then allow them to shut it down as much as they want. But close people call me Jer because we have some sort of chemistry or connection. If you call me Jeremy, we probably don't know each other very well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I would not call you Jeremy. Got it.
So, it seems like you really enjoy that name like a lot. Like you love it.
I love it. Yeah. It's been with me my whole life. What can I say? It's really
you know what? I mean, low key, I don't want to extrapolate that too far, but I think that there's actually a good amount of truth there. Like a friend of mine in high school, her name was Alexa. And I was like, oh, is that like short for like Alexander? She's like, no, it's Alexa, like on my birth certificate. And I was like, I feel like a nickname should be a nickname and a name should be a name.
Yep.
100%. Unless it's a name in which.
Nope. I don't know.
It's a name.
Disagree.
Should be long.
Okay. So I'm naming my son Archibald instead of Archer. So
please
short
do
for
that.
Archie.
Genius.
Archie is short both ways.
Yeah.
But Archibald can be the full name just in case they're ever, like a duke in Lithuania.
Archibald. I think that's a sick name. Like,
yeah,
it is awesome.
If
Are
I
you
can
gonna name your
leave
kid
this
Archer?
stream.
Yeah, that's my first name. I don't have any children yet.
Yeah.
But the boy is going to be named Archer. Yes.
I'm definitely stealing that. 100. Are you going to name your kid Archer if I name my kid Archer?
Yes.
It depends on who has children first.
And they're going to make the May Contain
True
Archer podcast.
May contain arrows. This is the longest intro we've done.
Yeah, it is.
That's special.
So Jer. Yeah. Jer Matthews. We like to get to know our guest, ask them a couple hard-hitting questions, really get to the nitty-gritty of who they are as a human being, as a soul.
Yeah.
Right. So your name, one of the weirder ones we've had. I'm just gonna throw a strike right down the middle and just really nail the point. It's a weird name.
Yeah.
Sounds like a yoga pose. Where did the name come from? Were you doing hot yoga and then just thought, this is my name now?
Yeah.
What yoga maybe?
What story doesn't begin with trying to impress a girl?
Wow. I have no idea where this is going.
This will be a gem for you guys. All right. So let's just rewind. We're in junior high.
Okay.
Little Jeremy has a really long hair. Since then has gone bald.
That's tough.
It's a tragic story that in itself. We could debrief that later for sure. But this young, immature Jeremy was on what Zoomers will never know to be called AIM.
Whoa.
AOL Instant Messenger, right?
Wow.
And so my previous name was Curly Cool Hair. I felt like as a junior higher, I felt that was immature somehow.
Curly Cool Hair.
Curly Cool Hair. I'm embarrassed, but you guys are asking the right questions. Yeah. Doesn't roll off the tongue.
That's a great name. Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to change this because I want to impress a girl named Melissa on AIM.
Melissa. Shout out to Melissa if you're out there.
I watched a movie. It's called Man of the House. I think it's 1995.
Sounds familiar. Who was the star in that? Was that like Tim
Chevy
Allen?
Chase?
Chevy Chase.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Ah,
you know what I'm
wow.
Also Zoomers are like, what? I don't know. And in this movie, his dad, who doesn't have a good connection with his son, go to this like really fun this tribal ceremony to name each other. And so they look at each other to name one another. And Jonathan Taylor Thomas says, hey, I want to name my dad Squatingdog. And Chevy's like, Squatingdog, like that's why? And he goes, well, I had a squirrel named Numbnuts. Would you rather be Numbnuts? And he was like, no, we're going to do Squatingdog. For whatever reason, I thought it was hysterical. Thought it was so funny as a junior hire. I was like, you know what? That's my name. I'm going to be Squatingdog. And so I went into AOL, typed in Squatingdog, and guess what? 2 T's was taken. So I had to do 1 T. First message I send Melissa, she goes, you spelled Squatingdog wrong. Did not work out.
Immediately shut down.
Immediately. So then I played Halo with that name. And then when you start doing good at any type of video game, you start to like identify with your name. And once stuff took off on Reddit and on my Instagram, it kind of solidified that name. And now I'm kind of stuck with it. Like, because if I change it, it's a full rebrand. People won't know. And if I stick with it, like that's great, but it's an immature name, that's misspelt and wildly unpopular.
Yeah.
But you remember it. So there's some key helpful points here. You're gonna remember this name. You're gonna know I'm not gonna take myself seriously, and you probably know I can't spell just for my name alone.
Yes, dude.
And Jonathan Taylor Thomas said it. So, and I know exactly what that scene is, and that whole movie just came back to me. I don't think it's not Chevy Chase, isn't it? Tim Allen and him though.
That's another one. What is that one?
Tim Allen and him are in one, but isn't there like a show?
They're in Home Improvement, yes, but not That's the show, but with Wilson.
Mhm.
But I thought Tim Allen was in that. I thought they did a movie together. But
I'm looking it up right now because it's
They
driving
did
me
it.
insane.
They did another one.
no,
I
it is
forget
Chevy Chase. You're right. It is. I'm picturing
Yeah.
it now. Yeah.
There's another one with Jonathan Taylor and Tim though, and I forget the name of that one. But yeah, there's two that are very similar.
Wow.
Classic.
Dude,
So that's how I came up with the name. You know,
it's a great way to come up with a name.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's better than curly cool hair though.
I feel the exact same way, by the way, almost exact, because ActionJaxon is, I don't know, it's not like a weird squatting dog. But it is something I'm stuck with now because I've leaned too heavily into the brand. And if I were to change my name, it'd be like, who's this?
What would you change it to if you could right now though? Like what would be the name that you would choose?
To anything?
To like rebrand yourself. Like if you had like if there was no consequence, right? Like to renaming and like everything just flowed and it worked fine. What would you choose to name yourself? Have you thought about that?
Paul.
That's
if there was some way to trademark and just be Paul, I would. I mean, like the other half, there's two halves of my brand. There's ActionJaxon and then there's and Paul now has become a thing.
Yeah, totally.
And I just feel like I need to lean into the Paul. It'd be that or action, just straight action.
You wouldn't consider and Paul? Just and Paul. You know, you have to have and in there.
And Paul. I feel like that sounds like and Paul. Like I'd be some sort of like that sounds like some sort of World War II survivee,
or like you're a cross dresser. Yeah,
or that.
Yeah.
And did you read the novel of Anne Paul?
Oh yeah, good point.
She was.
I mean, you could throw yourself on anything. You know, just throw yourself on the end. Anne Paul. Fortnite and Paul.
And Paul. That's not a bad idea. That'd probably be third. But but I still I know what you mean. It's like you're too leaned into it. It's spelled wrong. Mine's spelled wrong. Like I get it.
What about you, Trev? Would you change yours or?
So I went through my DJ. So I got this all out during the DJ phase.
Yeah.
I had like 40 DJ names, and then I was just like, you know what? Anything I do, I'm just going to combine with the current brand. I play baseball. You can put I am at your name. People search your actual name on Google, not any sort of screen name.
True.
And other baseball players that have tried to get into streaming or whatever are struggling with the brand connection.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
I just decided out the gate to make it this. And I think it was a really, really, really good idea because all my BJ names are horrible and everyone knows them already. So
wait.
I don't think I do.
All of them?
Okay, Hey Beef's pretty great.
One. Yeah.
May I hear them?
So I went by Hey Beef, Mazr, because there was another guy who had he was CERZ. Like that was his Sirs, we were Sirs and made like we were a duo, and so I like changed it to kind of like match his a little bit, and our logo was like it looked cool, so I was like, okay, yeah, that works. I don't care. And then after that, I was like, okay, just T-May, and then I'm just Trevor May. That's when I started to combine. The last one was Trevor May, so like my last, I don't know, I've changed the name on all of my productions that are on SoundCloud to just Trevor, like by Trevor May.
Yeah.
And
so you have like a sound bite.
Paul
like
does.
You don't
do. Paul's a sound bite of a song.
Should we play it?
I mean, if you want to
play this.
All right. I hope it's not too loud. PM. RIP. Fix it, dude.
I don't think it's gonna be too loud. I think it's gonna be fine. Okay, pull up. Like that.
Oh yeah. Trevor, did you make this?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Great. That's
great. So I got really into house at the end before I found Twitch and just stopped making music altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got all that. What I'm trying to say is I got it all out of my system, figured out a bunch of crap that didn't work. And then I just came into Twitch kind of with the whole like giving yourself a name experience that I was like, if I want to do this, I got to do this right. So that's where we are. So no, I wouldn't change it. I think I'm in a good spot.
Keep where it's at.
Would there be a return? Do you ever feel like you could come back to DJing?
Oh yeah. Now that Twitch is established a little bit, I'm like, I kind of want to DJ on Twitch a little bit. And I know PM, cool. And I want to make a song with PM now because PM's actually good at it. Dude. And I just have good ideas and have no idea how to him. So, you
Yeah,
know,
waiting.
Yep, there he is.
It's a collab
so
waiting to happen.
That'll happen. But again, I have 300 projects at all times, so it'll have to
True.
be on the side burner here at the beginning.
Hang it.
Yeah.
But
You know what my favorite part of that is
what?
Way back. It's so good.
Yeah, dude, it was totally just a royalty-free sample, dude. When you make music, you just look for samples all day. And you find a lot of crap, and then you find some cool stuff that just goes. And I literally only just took those things and put them in the drop because I don't know how to chop up samples. Actually, there's the vocal chop in that one. That's the only one with the vocal chop in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all and I literally put that into a sampler and like changed the pitch. Whatever. It was my first venture into that, but it was kind of cool. It looped pretty well. It sounded good. But
you did a great job.
So you take gigs then? Like if I had a friend 100%. Who was like doing a bar mitzvah, like
I don't know about bar mitzvahs, but yeah,
like call you up.
Yeah, dude, I've done about 50 frat parties.
That's
so I know
awesome.
how to get them going.
I want to get you over here in California.
I did my own wedding for 15 minutes, so I can
really.
Yes, I DJ'd my own wedding for 15. There's pictures.
The other DJ off.
He called me out and wheeled because we use different equipment. I have my own equipment. He wheeled out my stuff and like, and now Trevor's DJ. I played like 4 or 5 songs, and it was pretty much awkward, but it was good.
That's awesome. There would have been great.
A lot of people didn't know that. Who knew that I was the guest on the podcast today?
I'm having fun, guys. I feel like this is fun for me. You guys are the best.
Awesome. Well, we have my important question. The only reason I do the podcast is to learn this question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we start, Jer, what part of the country are you in?
California. I am in Orange County area.
Oh, okay, Southern California.
You can't buy houses. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, pretty much along the entire West Coast now, you can't buy houses.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, that's true.
What is your favorite fast food? Being from California, what's your number one go-to place you drive by? You're like, oh,
yeah,
I'm doing it. And you just go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go squat over there and eat like a dog. What do you guys?
Please don't.
What's
so honorable mentions. I'm gonna throw In-N-Out out there.
Okay.
In terms of reliability, you're always gonna you can always expect what you get at In-N-Out. I appreciate that in their like entire company
consistency.
I always want Chick-fil-A on Sundays, which just is unfortunate that that's like a reality like that we live in, where like the day I crave Chick-fil-A, I can't have it. Mm-hmm. So it's like this elusive, food. So there's something mysterious about that I pay attention to. But I would say overall, like the true cravings of my heart, I have allegiance to Taco Bell.
Wow.
I love Taco Bell.
Wow. Okay.
And it's mostly because of one thing that they did right. I don't know how it happened, but Mountain Dew created this delicious drink that, for whatever reason, Taco Bell has full ownership of. And I don't understand why.
Say the name.
But Baja freaking Blast, my man.
Say the name.
It's the only reason. I'm ordering it for dinner tonight. I just decided.
Bro. Oh my gosh. I had it at our wedding. I'm not kidding.
What?
I'm not kidding.
Think of that.
I'm not kidding. I was like, there's, people want alcoholic drinks, people want regular drinks, and I forced people to drink Baja Blast. I was like, no, it was like, it comes out in can only in like 1 or 2 months in the summer.
Yeah.
And
I think it's May.
Yes.
I think it's May.
That's incredible.
And they never tell you. It's like all of a sudden Albertsons has like a crazy stack of them, and I buy like 12 and I just stock up my mini fridge. But we were getting married and it came out. And I was like, babe, I'm sorry, this is happening. And everyone at my wedding was like, what is this? And I would be like, drink it now. Immediately.
Drink it, it's blue. Drink it, it's blue.
It's so good. It's so good.
When did you get married, or how long have you been married, I should say?
We're going on 4. We're entering
4 years.
4 years. Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah. So that was like 3 years ago.
Somehow I thought you were you got married when Baja Blast came out. I was like, was that like 2003? Like,
yeah, it's way back.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ribbon cutting was just us in the back doing vows.
That's
pouring Baja Blast on each other. Yeah, it was great.
I'm pretty sure it's only been out outside of Taco Bell's for five or so years though. Actually my favorite place to go in our division, so like when we go play on the road against other teams, they have usually have like a like a fridge where you can grab a soda on the way. It's not our number one thing we drink when we're there, but it's available. And in Detroit, of all places, they always have a row full of Baja Blast the entire season. And last year I go, how the hell do you guys have this still? They're like, oh, we just had. They're like, I don't like. Everyone's like, it's just I don't know. I don't even know what that is. It's just it just comes in the shipment. I'm like, yeah. You don't understand how big of it. Like it's like they're like, actually, I'm pretty sure we just got one shipment of it that month, and you're the only one that drinks it. So I'm like, well, okay, I'm gonna bring them all back to my hotel room and play some World of Warcraft Classic and drink 9 of them. All right.
Yep.
Sounds incredible.
Okay, weirdo, go away. I'm like, all right.
And like I feel like the soda companies, like you can get anything anywhere these days, and it's the one soda that is like I think on the black market or something. Like it's just like how do you find it? Like, how do you know about it? Nobody knows. You ask anybody, like anybody that works anywhere, and they're just like, I don't know. Like, it's here. You're like, I'm not going to ask questions. I'm just going to buy it all in hopes that I get it.
Hope it doesn't expire soon because you've had it for a year.
It does. Yeah, that's the bad part.
What was the it's so okay. I don't know if it's the same. We're not sponsored by these companies, obviously, but
yes.
I had a real conundrum because I love Baja Blast like the rest of us, right? Objectively, people love Baja Blast. I would like wake up in a cold sweat because I did not have Game Fuel. Do you guys remember Game Fuel when it first came out on Mountain Dew? It was like around when Halo launched. It was like a big
Halo game. Yeah.
Halo game, and they
Doritos too. They had they were paired with Doritos. You could buy Doritos Halo sponsorship too. And I did
Mountain
those
Dew
things.
They have Game Fuel now. I haven't had it since they rebranded or redid the whole thing, but that was the best soda ever, in my opinion. I thought Game Fuel was the best.
So I'll break this down for you a little bit. So there is
wow. All right.
The Halo 4 came out. They came in bottles, and there was a citrus. It was like cherry citrus Game Fuel, and it was just a different flavor. That was the good one.
Yes.
So it was a different flavor of Mountain Dew. And then there was the blue one. So then the blue one became Voltage, which it's always out now. It's like purple.
It did become Voltage?
Yes, it's like the same thing. It's like the same flavor exactly. And that's kind of like they don't come out with these anymore. And then the citrus one, I think they still do promos for sometimes, but the new Game Fuel that's out all the time, quote unquote, is like closer to Kickstart. Like they're like 15 grams of sugar per thing. They're good. I have some in my closet right now. But and they're all the flavors that AMP used to have. The red cherry, the blue one, the green one, and the yellow one is like citrus or like lemonade or
so it's really not the same thing. They just
not the same thing. They're actually slowly starting to remove sugar, and it's like becoming less and less sugary and more towards like everyone's going the Bang Energy route because you can say there's no sugar in something. It's like gold.
True.
So,
yeah.
So because we all have this commonality, I'm going to ask you a question, and I don't expect you guys to know this, but it came out for just the shortest amount of time, but it was absolutely delicious. It had like a similar flavor to Baja Blast, which you can't really explain the flavor of Baja Blast when somebody asks you, like, what does it taste like? It's like, I just call it the nectar of the gods. I'm like, that's the closest thing that comes to mind.
Nectar is the right word, yes.
Zeus
but there was this drink by Pepsi. It was called Pepsi Blue.
I remember that.
Do you guys remember this?
Do you remember that?
Look it up. It's it was very weird because Pepsi always had like darker products, and then when Pepsi Blue came out, it was like a lot of people were uncomfortable with it because it was, blue.
It wasn't cola. Yeah, it wasn't cola.
And then it came out, and it actually tasted pretty similar to Baja Blast. It had its own tang, but like it was delicious. I remember going camping, and this campsite had them, and I just like drank it the whole week. It was awesome. But it's gone now. It's gone. You can't find it anywhere. You can't find it anywhere.
Sure,
I don't think they make it anymore. No, they don't make it.
Yeah, it's no longer. I mean, it's probably expired, but yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Pepsi. Imagine trying to enjoy that now.
Dude, now I want Pepsi Blue. I want Surge. I want
Surge is there was like 110 grams of sugar in a can of Surge.
There was.
Like
They still
it
sell
was,
it.
it literally was in the bottom. There was an inch of just cane sugar at the bottom of the can. That stuff is horrible for you. But man, it got me jacked.
Punk
Surge, bro.
Cane sugar at the bottom. Like when you have what was that cereal? It's like frosted mini wheats. And then at the end, there's just like a thick layer of sugar.
Yep.
Goop at the bottom.
And you just spoon it in your mouth. It's fine. It's been diluted by this milk, with this 2%.
Even as a kid, I was like, "This can't be good for me." I don't know.
Unashamedly, just chowing it down,
Exactly.
It down.
Bro, I had such a problem when I was a kid with sugar, and that's probably why I was telling Paul last night on stream that I have to get an implant for a tooth that I had pulled because I've had like a 1,000 cavities as a kid. But I loved Raisin Bran for whatever reason. Like my dad loved it, so I was like, we had it all the time. Yeah, some people love it or they hate it. There's no one who's like, it's okay. Yeah. So I love it. I really like it still. But I used to put so the little raisins are like, they're like frosted. Like they have a little bit of sugar on them. I used to put extra sugar on my Raisin Bran because I was like, you know what? It's just not enough, dude. It's not enough.
You're like putting it on, where like it goes on a flake and then it sinks into the milk because you're just putting too much sugar on it.
Yeah, I'm well into the milk.
You're just like watching it battleship its way down to the bottom. Not enough.
I've already eaten all the cereal and I'm still pouring sugar into the milk.
The sugar mound is coming out of the milk. You're like, not enough.
Dude, that's gross. That's gross.
So gross. I feel like I have diabetes now just talking about it.
But I'm getting Taco Bell tonight, just to be clear.
I absolutely love that.
I don't care what my wife says.
Yeah, same. Completely off my program. Gonna do it. So squatting, you've been in the game for a little bit now, doing the whole content creator thing. We'd like to know a little bit like about your history and everything. Obviously, we learned about your girlfriend, or at least your failed attempt at getting one back in the day with Margaret.
Melissa. Yeah.
Melissa.
We don't talk about her anymore.
We don't talk about her. We're not gonna bring her up again. But what did you do before streaming, before content creation? And when did you decide to take this venture full time?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I
really need that validation.
Sorry, thank you. Yeah, really.
Yeah. I've done that question 12 times now, and no one's ever thanked me, so I appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah. Great question in the back, Paul. Thank you. So I mean, my journey to streaming is, I feel, a little non-traditional. I played video games all the time, but there was this like weird stigma of gaming when I was younger. Like there's no careers for it. No opportunity that some of these kids get now. And so there was like things that were okay to pursue in my life and things that were not okay to pursue. And although video game, my parents, everybody, I got into gaming because of my parents. Actually, we played StarCraft together as a family, and they got me into Diablo and all of the Blizzard games. I love Blizzard.
Real quick. Two things. One, love that you played StarCraft together. Two, what is Diablo?
God dang it. Diablo?
Did I say it wrong?
You have been saying Diablo for years now?
Diablo.
This is the first you've been challenged on that pronunciation?
Diagram. Like Diablo. Diagram.
Guys, I'm having an epiphany right now.
That's like what I would call it.
Diablo.
That's what I would call if my mom was like, "What game are you playing?" Diablo? Oh, okay. That doesn't sound nearly as satanic as I thought it was.
Maybe that's how I got around it. Maybe that's what it was.
That's funny.
Okay, so you say it.
Diablo. It's literally Spanish for devil.
Diablo.
I'm not saying Diablo. You're saying Diablo.
I say Diablo.
Both of those are wrong.
Yeah, well, I would say it's from where you're from, but you're from California. Like there's no.
Yeah, there's no way.
You should really know how to say Diablo.
I didn't have the right. Not very many people played that game with me. It was a single player game.
So you just were saying it to yourself for years.
Yeah, it's
Diablo. Yeah,
or maybe he's reading it. You know what I mean? That happens a lot too. You read a word, and like if it's in a book or something, and you read it so many times, you say it in your head so many times that it just sticks, and then you don't realize you're saying it wrong. I had a friend. I had a friend in WoW that used to always say, you know, the Eastern Plague Lands. He'd say Eastern Plague Lands. And he said it once to me at school. I was like, what did you say? Where? He's like, the Plague Lands. I'm like, plague. That's how you spell plague.
That's amazing. Wow.
Plague Lands.
And he's like, wow, I just realized I never said it before. I was like, yeah.
Where Diablo is. That's where
this is really shocking to my system. I'm so glad I came on this podcast. Could you imagine if this went live too?
Dude,
yeah. Wow.
If anyone saw this. Recording this.
No one listens, so you're good.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just could not let that stand.
No, yeah, and I feel like you'll hold that over for a while, but I'm gonna keep on saying it the way I'm saying it.
I'm gonna bring it up for it again.
Anyways, I was playing Diablo. Playing Diablo with my fam. And I pursued college, hated college, just kind of didn't feel really any like reason for studying what I was studying until in my high school career, I lost a lot of friends to suicide and drinking and driving, and like some really bummer, like really good friends that I cared about a lot ended up just like bouncing, you know, and that really affected me like as a high schooler more than I think like I gave my like more than I like paid attention to or knew how to cope. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, they were great people. They just didn't they just weren't in they just weren't in the right circles. They didn't have the right friends that cared about them well. And so I wore a lot of that in high school, and then in college I didn't know what to do. My parents were kind of forcing me to go to college, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go study to help people make better decisions. That was kind of my hope, was like, I want to influence people, and I want to challenge and change the status quo of what the world gives you, the hand that you're dealt, and try to show people tricks of the trade of living like a healthy life. And so I went to college for counseling and therapy and all that stuff, and ended up getting a master's in it and all that stuff, and really enjoyed that conversation. It led me to being a resident director, which essentially is like in a dormitory, there's RAs, and those RAs kind of like are the people that get a bad rep for ruining your life in a dorm. For sure. And there's an RD, a person over that. And typically what happens in a social situation in college, if somebody's making a poor decision, either the RA or some report comes in, and the RD then has a conversation with those students. And so I was in a position of like suicide prevention and kind of like this interesting discipleship and walking along students that are making poor decisions, and also kind of like intentionally caring for RAs over the course of a year, and kind of like walking them through their lives. And that was like some of the most edifying work that I've ever been in. Unfortunately, the college I worked at kind of just overworked people with not enough pay. And so I did that for almost 6 years. I've been in higher education for 9 years. Wow. And so I really care about people that isolate themselves, typically. Those are the people that I kind of really enjoy caring for. The people on the outskirts of social dynamics and situations, people that feel worthless, people that feel like they're not enough, people that like are sad or depressed or whatever, and try to encourage and give them life. And so in this job, I just kind of got overworked and was feeling really burnt out from it, and had always wanted to be a streamer and content creator, and somebody who can influence people in a kind of a new way, a new era, you know, like this whole like last 5 years it's crazy to see some of where gaming has gone. So there's a new platform here that I was exploring while like I'd just been playing video games like this whole time and feeling guilty for it, because like it's not a real job. It's not a real job, you know, those types of things. Yeah. Until the opportunity to jump onto Twitch and be like an influencer, a content creator, kind of was this cool middle ground of being able to influence people and like play video games, which I've been doing my whole entire life. And so this cool marriage came together, and I was like, you know what? Like, I looked at my wife, I was burnt out, like really like worried if I should continue being an RD. And I said, I think I have what it takes to be a streamer and content creator and actually make money off of it. And she kind of looked at me like, are you sure? You know, like, you know, like, is that the route you want to go? And I said, I think we have enough money in our bank account for 3 months. And if it doesn't work out in 3 months, I will go back to higher education. I'll figure out another route that will be like cause less burnout for me.
Yeah.
And she was like, all right, let's do it. And at
what
the
year
time,
was this?
I've been full-time a year and a half. But I think we started the conversation 2 years ago. So fairly new, like really new. But I had been doing cheat sheets and content creation on both my Instagram and Reddit, and both of them were blowing up like ridiculously. Like when Fortnite came out, like it changed the game for so many people. And I was one of the fortunate people to have content and consistent content, like helpful content over the course of its existence. And so people really knew my name while the game was coming out, because I was helping them with their challenges really regularly. And so I had built up an audience and kind of just probed that audience, was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Is there a way that you guys think I can make a living off of it? And so the first month I made like, I think like $53.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I was like, okay, this is not going to happen. I might as well just ride or die. I might enjoy it while it dies. And then
half of our Zoomers were just like $53.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And our rent here in California costs $1,780 for a 2-bedroom apartment, which is crazy.
Wow.
And so my hope was to pay for rent. That was my goal by the end of the 3 months, is like, and so month 2 I paid for half of rent, and month 3 I paid for almost all of rent. And that was enough to go another month. And so it's just been slowly and consistently creating content and trying to build an audience of people that want to care about those that are online and not just disregard them as a number. So that's kind of how I got started.
That's amazing. Wow. Amazing story.
That is, that's incredible. I mean, is there I feel like I've thought about that question a lot, like in terms of Twitch and just gaming in general, and the people that I knew in high school and in middle school, like my friends that weren't necessarily into sports like I was, or like they were, not necessarily even great students, right? They were good students or whatever, but they like playing video games, and they're like, I'm 30 as well. And so like, it's that time of there was no making money or at least even playing professionally or anything. And so I've just seen Twitch give so many people who were hyper competitive but didn't have an outlet, or people who felt isolated and couldn't communicate with other people that felt as strongly they did about the types of games they felt. And then it's just community after community everywhere. And I just realized that every single channel you go into has a different feel for a very specific reason. And I've just become aware in the last few months of how much like my mods and people in my channel play games together. Like, and that's just like, that's incredible. You won't find it anywhere else. So it sounds like, and you're the type of person that, wants to help and wants to make yourself available to those people. And there's just not a better place to do it than here. So that's really, that's
absolutely,
dude. That's tip of the cap. That's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I think like mental health is just like a topic that should be more to the forefront for gamers. I think it's kind of one of these, this topic of like, you can just do anything at no consequence. And I think like by even just your physical health, if you're playing video games for a long period of time, there's just dangers over time that can happen. Like you can really hurt yourself by sitting in a chair for that long, or just these things that I don't think are being talked about that I just think are really important, like, and valuable to talk about, because if you're stuck in isolation for too long, that can change the game. And I even struggle as a content creator. And honestly, Paul, you reaching out for this is awesome, because like I think what I'm trying to do 2020 is like learn how to collaborate with other people who get this space, because this space is hard. It's hard. Like you can isolate yourself and you could like compare yourself every single day and feel like you are failing and feel like you are insignificant and feel like you are bad at what you're doing and almost get ready to quit, every day. And that comparison can be really hard. And so I think like what's interesting is there's no real space for people that are doing their own content to kind of like know how to engage with other content creators. So like for my context with you, Paul, is like I just wanted to get to know you. So I came into your chat, we hung out a little bit, engaged, and it was like you seemed like a person that was fun. And then even prior to that, we met in person, and it was like that was like really life-giving to me, of like this person. It like I was about to leave, and then I ran into you, and we ended up talking for like an hour.
It's true.
Like, this is crazy. But there's great people out there that are doing great content, and in the world in which we live on, it's such a shareable space. Like it's such a shareable space. Like there is no reason for somebody to hoard their, like their audience, because our audiences are already so rapidly moving through content that sharing is such a beautiful thing that we get to do, and something that I want to be a lot better at in 2020, but more so to be able to build actual relationship with people despite how busy I am in my own content creation. Like, and so even you reaching out for this, I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Like, it's so cool that you guys get this opportunity to brush shoulders with other content creators that are doing excellent and amazing things that we can all learn from. And I'm sure the people that listen to this podcast come to this podcast to learn about like these incredible people that have devoted parts of their lives to learning how these things work, to share those tools. And so I think what you guys are doing here is very honorable and something that I am inspired by and want to learn from. So thank you, guys.
Man. Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's that I feel so that made me so happy. I might not retire after this episode.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
It's not over yet.
We got
him yet. I'm episode
sticking
12,
around.
so I can still ruin it.
No, absolutely. We still got time. But it's to your point. Whenever I hear, or not hear, because I literally don't hear anything when I stream. But whenever someone comes in and types in chat, they say, "Hey, Paul, I'm going to start streaming," or "I just did my first stream," or whatever it may be. I almost have a knee-jerk reaction. Not that I'm not happy for that person. Like, that's exciting to do something new and it's fun. But my knee-jerk reaction is, do you have the emotional and mental fortitude to handle that? That's always my first reaction. Is like not in like a writing you off way, but it's kind of like good luck. Like it's a lot, and I think people don't realize, like you said, it's you are under a microscope to some extent, and you will now put your success in direct correlation to everyone else's. Like, I must be this successful based off of this person and how similar we are and how their success, and I'm funnier than that person in my mind, or my mom says I'm funnier than this person or whatever. Like, so it's a constant mental evaluation that you have to gain a hold of. You have to like keep in check that you do not compare yourself to other people.
Yeah. And it's lonely. Like,
oh yeah,
it's very lonely. Even though you are surrounded by people, right? Like that's the funny thing about it. But it's like at the end of the day, how you feel about your own brand, you're going to be more insecure unless you're around people that you've built friendship with that also get what you're doing. Because I created a stupid video this morning. It took me like 2.5 hours. And when somebody eats that content, they're like, "Oh, you're bad at the game," and you're like, "Oh, like, come on, you little 13-year-old! It took me a long time to build that, like."
Yeah, exactly.
People don't get that. people don't see the work behind.
Yeah.
They just can critique however they want because they get to hide behind the username. And so when you're building content for kids that don't even care, they just want to see you burn for whatever it is.
Yes.
It's so refreshing to be able to have another person who gets it, to be able to say, I'm bummed, like that was a bummer that happened. And for somebody to go, yeah, not like somebody like, oh yeah, you entitled, like what, you get to play video games for a living? It's like it's
what
so
people
refreshing.
say that. I didn't know that. Yeah.
It's so refreshing to have people that get it. And I think that's something that in doing this for only, a year and a half, I'm already recognizing that need for myself to continue to create good content. I think I need those people in my life. And so I think you coming along was actually kind of a big thing for me. So I'm grateful for that.
Dude, thanks, man. I mean, honestly, I really enjoyed meeting you as well when we met in California at that like little Fortnite soiree type of thing. Mm-hmm. And kind of like you were saying earlier, and obviously we have other things to talk about, but I think it's important, especially in this arena, to build bridges and not walls. Like your community, you have a certain responsibility to your community to set the tone of that community, whether you think you do or not, whether you're ninja or whether you're the person that just started yesterday. You dictate the mood and the I don't know how you call it, the aura of that community, right? So if you're toxic and negative or whatever, your community will be toxic and negative. If you are helpful and loving and caring, your community will be those things. So no matter how big you are, you have that. And then also to think that your community is somehow only yours, and if you collaborate with someone, you will lose that community, is just ridiculous and prideful. And like nothing could be more beneficial to yourself and your communities to collaborate with people. They're just exposed to more good things.
Exactly. Just like we have preferences for the type of content we like to consume, everyone else also has preferences for the type of content they like to consume. So they might find something they really enjoy at the time, and that might be somewhere else for a little. It's gonna happen, whether or not you want to worry about it or not. So
you're gonna lose viewers or mods or people. Like it's gonna happen. But you can either be a part of the positivity of them leaving or the negativity. Like, did you introduce them to someone they really love, or did you keep them from someone they really love?
Well, switching gears and to get a little bit more into the nitty gritty of the content side of things, because that's always something we like to do here on the pod. I'm gonna join these two last questions in the group here, group them up, and we'll look at you. Out, okay, so I know that social media outside of live streaming, so outside of Twitch, with Instagram and Twitter and stuff, has been creating specific content for those things, and has been a big thing for you. So in terms of social media platforms, which one do you think is your favorite, and which one do you think you need to continue to improve on? And I think we know the answer. I'm going to continue the question, I guess, just for the sake of time, because we're almost at an hour. But in terms of games, which one's your favorite to play, and which one's your favorite to create content in?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. So I would say one of my favorite social medias that I don't think is talked about a lot is Reddit. I think there's a huge part of me coming from Reddit. Like I feel like Reddit and Instagram are the reasons why I am where I am. I think the Reddit community is some of the most honest, which I think is the scariest, actually. So like Reddit, for whatever reason, just feels like a place where if you put content there, you are going to get the spectrum of how people really feel. Because if you follow somebody on Instagram, you're saying like, I'm going to pledge kind of to them, like they're going to be in my circle, and they have to kind of prove themselves to continue that following, or I'll just unfollow them. Like, I don't need to say to that person that your content sucks. Like, I just can leave. Where Reddit, it's all based off of your postings. And so when you post something and somebody is angry about it, they just kind of just say it, like, you're the worst at this, and why do you keep doing it? And you're like, okay, so Reddit is very honest, and I like that. Like, I like that. But it's something that I think is an underutilized tool for a lot of content creators. And then I want to learn TikTok way more than I already have. Like, I love TikTok. I love the short clips and quick consuming mentality, and I really enjoy that culture. So I'm excited to learn more about that.
It's all about learning how your brand of content translates into that format. I'm the same way, trying to figure out, because it is my type of humor. I laugh way more than I don't laugh at those things. So I just got to figure out how to do it. Awesome.
Yeah. And it's new. I mean, there's so much to learn, but it's an exciting space right now. It feels like a whole new world.
I'm interested to see it transform, because right now it feels like a lot of people just dancing. And I'm wondering if it's going to change or if it's just going to be people dancing. I mean, I know there's other sides of it, but that's the main.
If you're attractive, you dance, and if it's just like anything else. It's like Instagram. If you're attractive, you do a certain type of picture. Yeah, and if you're not, you do a certain type of picture. So, like, you're not. Usually, it's pictures of your shoes, or you're not in it.
And your dog,
or your dog, or your animals.
It's always your dog,
or your kids. That's a possibility too.
Smart.
I just thought of this thing for Reddit, just to take one quick step back. It's an analogy that I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up on the show.
You're doing this to yourself now. You're doing this to yourself.
I am. So Reddit is a giant game of Red Rover, right? It's where all the people on Reddit are on a big chain holding hands, and your content is you, and you're running towards them. But instead of stopping you with their hands, there's two things that can happen. They can nod and let you through, or they slap you in the face. Those are the two options. That's upvoting and that's downvoting. So just imagine yourself careening towards a group of people that are always on Reddit, and what you're putting on there is either going to get slapped, or it's going to be acknowledged as good,
or it's going to slap. You know what I mean?
Or it's going to slap. Exactly.
The only thing I would add to that is the people you're going up against don't care about you at all.
Yeah, they don't even see you as you're just a blob.
You're just like you gray blob. Yourself, and in fact, I can't wait to punch you when you get over here.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, maybe that's fun. All right.
Yeah.
Some of the funniest comments I've ever read have been on Reddit. So hilarious.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure. What was the second part of the question?
What about the game? Yeah, well, I think we know what your favorite game is. But what's your favorite game to play? It might not be Fortnite actually, but the favorite game to create content around still.
Fortnite is such a creative space. It's so easy to get people in your community involved and build like ridiculous and stupid and funny content. I'm all about laughing. I love laughing. I love messing with people, and there's so much freedom in Fortnite. So it's going to be my number one. But I love playing a lot of games. Off stream, I will typically play a lot of other things like Overwatch, Super Smash Brothers, Destiny 2. I love Towerfall Ascension. It's like a little indie game. And then a new one that's coming out right now that I just played today that I think I'm going to start getting into is called the Darwin Project. And I'm pretty excited about this.
I saw CDN playing it last night.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's like the same thing where it's like a battle royale, but you only have 10 people. And the goal of there's the thing that's the best about it is there's you can talk, so it has proximity chat, and
amazing.
There's one person that is the director, and he's a robot, and he can cause issues. So if he wants to nuke a space, he can do that. If he wants to give you mats, or he can do that. Like he can give you things, and he can take things away from you. And then also, if you link your Twitch to it, there's like a weird thing where like users can vote on the space in which a nuke goes off. So the people at home that are watching your stream can pick a panel that you might be on to push you out of it if they want to. So the integration between Twitch and the game is really, really cool. So I'm excited to play that more, and I think it's going to be another space that
I'll probably
start streaming regularly.
Yeah,
it just released.
There's a beta out.
It's free to play.
I think a year ago or something. Tim did an event with them too, and played with Summit and Shroud, and all those people played the game, and then one of the devs was the director. So that's the first time.
Oh, cool.
It looks a super interactive, super cool collaboration game. If you get a bunch of streamers in there with different sizes of communities and everyone's involved, like they have to get behind you and vote for things. And And I think you can vote to get good stuff, right? Like things that help you.
Yep. And what's fun is the proximity chat. Like I suck at it right now. So I'm running around and somebody who's really good. I'm like, hey, let's talk about this. I have a family. And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, I have children. Leave me alone. And they're like, okay, all right, I'll see you later. And the director's like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, hey, director, you know what? And you can just talk with everyone. It's super fun. It's a blast. You should try it out.
Incredible. I definitely want to download that now.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that as well.
Let's play together. Let's do it. It would be fun.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Let's get that plan that up after the show.
Sounds good.
All right. It's everyone's favorite time. It's ad time. The only ad we have on the podcast, and it's really, really long. No, it's not that long. It's easy. The May Contain Action podcast is presented by PrintLoyal.com. They partnered with talented artists, creating incredible gaming fan art and making it available for you to rep your favorite games. New art is added weekly, and Drop One featuring art inspired by Fortnite, Apex Legends, and Destiny is now available at PrintLoyal.com. Love games? Show it with PrintLoyal. You can also follow them on Instagram and Twitter at PrintLoyal. They are always interested in different kinds of art you want to see on the site, and they're always adding new stuff. I heard there's some Star Wars stuff coming soon, so it's going to be pretty sweet.
It'll be dope.
Let's go.
All right.
Didn't we decide you were going to record that and just play it?
Well, cut that part off.
I'm pretty proud.
Make it the recording. There we go.
Great.
Good.
Great.
Did it. Crushed it.
Did it. Perfect. Now, Jeremy.
Yo. You called me Jeremy. That says a lot.
Yeah, it's because we're not friends. So, Jeremy, you what? Jer Bear.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This is more my style. All right, let's go.
We're actively changing it. You recently released a iOS app.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit. And Android, of course. Yes, and Android.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a bit about how you made that app and what it does, what it's about.
Yeah. So essentially, it's an app on iOS and Android. It's a companion app for Fortnite. So if you are trying to do your challenges or accomplish anything in the game, there's a checkoff list and the exact locations of all the things that you are looking for, with a dynamic ability to zoom in and locate absolutely anything you need. So if you are playing in the competitive space, let's say, you can bring up heals, you can bring up rotations, where the water moves, all that stuff, all within the app itself. And so when I first did cheat sheets, which is like my fancy word of like helping you each week through your challenges, nobody wants to find gnomes. Nobody wants to go into a game and meticulously find 20 gnomes on the map.
Yeah,
me included, but that's just kind of the part of the brand that I have now. So we essentially, I go into the game and meticulously find all of these things for you and post them on a sheet. And what was limiting about the sheet is if you didn't do your challenges that day, you could go back, but you'd have to scroll through my Insta, scroll through my Reddit, scroll through my Twitter to try to find it. And so when I first created this, I thought like it would be so much better if this was interactive. And so we created this app, which I used a good chunk of my supported creator money, a good chunk of my Twitch income, and essentially directed it towards building an app from the ground up. So it's on Android and iOS. It's been super successful thus far, which is really exciting. And we have some really cool things upcoming that to kind of like make it more enhanced, make it more better and more helpful as a tool. But yeah, you can access it at either of those stores.
More
better about it.
What's the name of the app?
It's called Squatingdog for Fortnite. Squatingdog for Fortnite.
1 T or 2?
1 T. 1 T, no space. Yeah, 1 T, no space.
1 T, no
space. Be spelled everywhere. My goal is if I can get big enough, I want people to spell Squatingdog incorrectly at school.
That's perfect.
That's my goal.
The dream.
That's my goal.
It's the dream, kids. When you're spelling squatting all the time.
Everyone's all the times you write the word squatting.
We know they are.
Oh, constantly. So that's a part. I mean, that app. I have a question about essentially your cheat sheets and that whole thing.
Yeah.
So your app is a really ingenious way to kind of organize all of those things into like a really concise package. And you mentioned competitive aspects. You mentioned rotations, what way the water goes, all these very detailed things. I'm curious, two things. Do you get all this information yourself? Like, is this firsthand information that you go out, you figure out and put into it? Or do you source it from somewhere, right? Does someone else figure it out and you just kind of organize it and display it? And either one of those, how do you find the time to do all this and quick enough, early enough so that people get it and you're the first one that they see?
Dude, it's crazy. It's a wild process. So Tuesdays are typically when Fortnite updates the game. And that means that they put the files into the game. So if you go into replay mode, it'll add all of the new things to it. So when they do an update ahead of time, when a new season comes out, or like just random events that they drop all at once on one night and it goes live right away. Yeah, those are the most stressful times, because every time that it goes live, that's about 4 o'clock for me where I live. So I have to get up at 3:30 a.m. every Thursday, go into the game in replay, look at it all, try to find, like when you post something on Reddit, they rip you apart. So what I've learned is I need to be as accurate as possible and as genuine as possible. And when I have the combination of those two things, I have competitors, I have tons of people that copy my stuff, and that's kind of a bummer because now everybody has a supported creator code, and I feel like the bar in which you can receive a supported creator is so low. And not only that, is there's a lot of people that have a supported creator code that like don't realize that you need a certain amount of income in order to actually make something. So what they'll do is they'll just sit on their own supported creator code and think that they're going to make up it's very interesting. So I essentially do my best to give the most options as possible within the time frame that I have. And so there are options. So for example, bus stops. There was a new challenge where you had to go to bus stops. Within the game, if you were to just go online and say, where are the Fortnite bus stops? You would find 5 different cheat sheets, all of them with 3 locations, because all they want to do is the minimum work to get the information out there so that they could be the most relevant, as something releases. Okay. Where I do too, but I also recognize not everybody wants to drop in the same area. And if they could go to their normal spot and realize that there's bus stops there, that's important. And so I try my best and pride myself to be the most accurate as humanly possible with a certain amount of time. There is a time in which that it's too, like, you can't go to, I can't spend 5 hours on this. And people will articulate, yo, what's wrong with you? Why are you late? Like, they don't realize the work that goes into it. They don't realize the time that goes into it. And they expect you to bring something to the table. And so that pressure really does get to you. And I've been doing it since Fortnite came out. So almost every week I've gotten up at 4 a.m. To post this content for Fortnite people, for the community. And it was at first, there wasn't even supported creator. It was just out of just good intention. And then when I decided to become a streamer, the supported creator and Twitch stream income essentially became my only income. So supported creator was like this awesome thing. I was like one of 50 people that had a supported creator code. It was awesome. Like, it was incredible. And then it just got really watered down. So now what is kind of a bummer is like people, will like go all over the place and get their content wherever they want. So I had to re-innovate myself, like what I'm doing, and be like, set myself apart yet again from people who essentially take my content, identify, like make it the same thing, like just wait for me to post, have their like tags ready, and then just literally copy my content and post it for themselves, and then receive the benefit of their supported creator code. And so I had to think to myself, like, what is the best way to set myself apart? And that was like to move into the app space, to be more dynamic, to be more helpful and more consistent. And so that, I think, is a big step in me and my content creation, is like, I want to be set apart. And I typically through my designs and my accuracy, for the most part, is fairly set apart in of itself, but that's not enough anymore, fortunately. Yeah. And so I have to re-innovate
all your own stuff.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
design all your
the
own
medium,
everything.
the medium in which you get the information, you can
Yep.
you can get a head up. That's
Yeah.
smart. That's very, very smart.
Thank you. Yeah.
When did
That
the
sounds
when did the app launch?
We launched. Was it? I think it was November. Yeah, I think November.
Right, just before Christmas time.
Squatting dog with one T, all no space, one word. I'm sure if you type in squatting dog with one T into the app store, it's probably the only thing that comes up.
Yeah.
That and squat tutorials.
That and squat tutorials.
Yeah, you can learn how to squat really well on some of the other apps. So
there's a lot of apps out there. Sometimes just type in random words, bro. You'll be surprised. There's a lot of apps for weird stuff.
I got a video of somebody like, I downloaded your app, and he's just doing squats in front of the mirror. I'm like,
that's funny.
What's going on?
What a memer.
What's going on?
What a
it's
memer.
super interactive. Like I'm on the app right now.
He's doing it right now.
Around.
Paul's the king of like looking something up that we're talking about immediately.
I mean,
you're the fastest Googler I know. No, dude, you're doing it. Without it, we have nothing. So continue.
Without it, we have nothing.
Continue doing it.
Just the amount of detail, the interactiveness of the map, like it's top notch, man. Really, hats off to the app.
My last question on this: Do you actually update the app itself directly, or do you go really? Oh wow,
yeah, it's all, and that's the hardest part. Is it takes a lot longer than creating just a JPEG image,
and then just putting up a picture. Yeah,
take 4 to 6 hours on each cheat sheet that goes up to Reddit and Instagram. And the app itself adds more time too. And I can't do both those at the same time. So, and I don't have a team, it's just me. So I essentially will do the cheat sheets and hopefully and try to release around the same time. So when people wake up, they have the cheat sheet and they have the app updated.
Wow.
So, but yeah, it's a process.
That's amazing.
It's really, clean app awesome. Too, man. Love it.
I'm excited. I'll check it out. When we get off here. But first, it's game time. You guys ready to play a game?
Let's go.
Play a freaking game, dude.
So my normal game is called Initials. Yes. But I wanted this to be because, Jer Bear, you know a lot about Fortnite very clearly. So I was like, how could I make this? I like that. We're gonna never stop saying it. I like it. How can we make this Fortnite themed? How can we make this Fortnite themed? And so I tried to make it within usually it's initials. I give you 2 letters, and then everything is those 2 letters. But then I give you a bunch of hints, and you got to guess what it is. But these are Fortnite creators. We have 7 creators. They're big Fortnite creators around the game. They're pretty well known. With 3 hints. So basically, the name of the game is going to be which one of you calls it out first. Basically, yeah. But if you miss, you only get one. You only get one again.
Okay. One chance.
Okay. Yeah. So you gotta be
time limit here.
There's a little bit of a time limit. And the last hint is pretty obvious.
Okay. Yeah.
For the most part. There's a couple you might not know, and you kind of got to know these guys a little bit or watch their stream a little bit maybe to know some of these, and they're just generally like memes about them or like, but I don't think they're too hard. I think you guys get it. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, for our first creator.
Okay.
The hint isn't going to be like a long sentence or anything. It's going to be like a word or a phrase. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. First creator. First hint. Strats.
SypherPK.
Okay. Paul got it.
Yes. What? Suck it, Jer Bear.
It was very close. Very close.
I want that in slow motion. I want to see his lips finish before mine.
SypherPK.
Gotta talk faster, nerd.
Okay.
Evidently, the first hint is the easy one. The next 2 hints were in the game 10 years. Paul would have got that because we interviewed him last week.
True.
And traps. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right. Creator number 1-0, Paul. Woo! Creator number 2.
Let's go.
Hit number 1. Okay. Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
That's not very easy. No.
Does he stream?
This Pinocchio stream?
His father Geppetto does. He doesn't stream. He's not old enough.
A common phrase used in his stream. Thank you, my guy. I say that because if either one of you has seen a stream for more than 30 seconds, he would have said it. At least
Really?
Yes.
Oh boy.
I'm in trouble now.
Oh jeez.
Third hint, original edit god. Known for edits.
Edit God.
Original. Oh, Myth. Myth.
No.
Myth.
No. It's
no.
No.
What?
I have an additional one.
Go,
Zoomer.
go.
He's a Zoomer.
Original Edit God.
Edit?
Yeah, he's known for his edits.
Yes.
Replays?
Close. It's Symphony. Symphony's known for his edits.
the edit god?
Pinocchio, the nose. He's always known for his nose.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. It's
Okay,
I see.
okay.
I was thinking that for
So-
the wrong reasons.
One's for that he was a liar, right?
Myth
Yeah,
is the
that he's not.
build god, not
build
the
god.
edit.
So
Yeah.
Simp's been around pretty much all of Fortnite and
Yes.
and his
Symphony.
his first
Okay.
few kind
I
of
didn't know
viral
people
things
called
were
him
him editing.
Pinocchio. That's
People
brutal.
call him Pinocchio, but they call him all kinds of things about his nose. They can make fun of his nose, all his friends do.
I love his nose. I think
And he
it's very
says "my
cute.
guy" a lot. I like him a lot. I like.
He does
just-
say my guy. He does
he
say my guy.
a lot.
Yeah, my guy.
I
guy.
watch him stream like it's been 10 times in 2 minutes.
I'm a girl.
But he's a great dude. I love you, dude. Don't be mad at me, Mason. All right.
Very good.
Third
Okay. Yes.
creator,
Yeah.
thumbs up.
That was the hint.
Yes.
Thumbs up. That's the
Thumbs
hint.
up.
Yes.
Okay, I got nothing. Thumbs up.
Cracked. That doesn't really narrow it down, I know.
No, that's everyone says cracked.
He is exactly half of my age.
Trevor, how in the heck would I know?
The
Wait.
first hint is supposed to be the big one. Thumbs up. Big
Thumbs
part
up.
of the brand.
Booga?
Is it Benji?
It's Benji. Benji Fishy.
Suck it, Paul.
Huge
Suck it,
Fortnite
bro.
meme is
We're tied
Benji
now,
giving
baby.
thumbs ups.
Okay.
We're tied now.
Ah.
1-1.
Creators.
We both got Symphony, so does that make us at 0-0?
I think we both got Symphony.
Oh, you both got somebody. All right, so it's 2-2.
Completely.
Number 4.
Okay.
Hint number 1.
Yeah. Hit me with it.
No cam.
Dakotas.
Oh, Dakota.
Dakota. Hint number 2. Lived in
Dang it,
France.
Paul.
Hint number 3. Hits those. Yeah. You would have had it.
It's
that point.
those.
Yeah, that's cake. That's cake.
Woo. I'm nuts. I only know
No,
the
you're
boomers apparently of.
Oh yeah, you do. 3. Yeah. So 3-2. Number 5. Hint number 1. Hails from Michigan.
Michigan.
I'm glad we got through that one.
Who isn't?
Hint number 2. L2.
Nick Merckx.
Dang it, bro.
Congratulations, Nick Merce. And number 3.
I'm the best.
Hint number 3 was forehead.
Yeah,
You got it at that point.
that was us.
Hey, Jer Bear. Hey.
Yeah, what's up, bro? What's up?
It ain't over
you.
yet, Paul. There's still
That's
2
you,
more.
dude. Just-
That's you. No one cares. Golf claps.
Our 6th creator
Okay.
plays on no less than 10,000 DPI.
That has to be a meme.
It's more of a meme, yeah. It's not actual true because
no way.
but
kinda
when
very
you
small.
when you watch, you're like, what is that?
Small mouse pad.
Number 2, EU.
Oh,
Aiden.
Nick A30.
EU.
No, EU. Shoot, I thought Canada.
So what did you both say? Wait, Paul? What did you say?
Mine's incorrect. Mine is incorrect.
Yours is correct.
I'm just trying to beat Paul, so.
All right. We're get to
Aiden.
third
Nixon in the EU, right?
third hint. Not.
Mongrel.
It's mongrel.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it.
I said
Correct.
He will use as a weapon. He will use this as a weapon. Paul will use this as a weapon against
I
us.
absolutely will.
All right. The last
You're a bot.
one we have only has
I'm
one
sweating.
hint. The last one we have only has one hint.
One hint? Oh boy.
The hint is famous as shit.
Ninja.
It's this shot.
Oh my gosh.
Get slaughtered here, man. Me.
Got him.
You.
Got him.
Love you, Ty. That's funny. That's
Dang
really funny.
Get annihilated.
I got roasted, bro.
Welcome to the podcast.
Dang it. I'm never coming back.
Mongol, no less than 10,000 DP. I'm hilarious.
I'm hilarious.
Pats himself on the back.
Incredibly humble.
I like this one. I can make lots of these games. That was
You
fun.
did great. Yeah, that was really good.
I like that a lot. That we could
Really
just do
good.
that for like content creators, period.
Yeah, just all
for
day.
sure.
We can do it all the time. I'm literally gonna work up some for some. There's people on different platforms. You know what I mean? So we went Fortnite today because we're all supposed to know about Fortnite, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That was incredible. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Thank you. So this is the part of the podcast, Jared. We kind of give a little shout out, if you will, or just kind of recognize someone that we've really enjoyed, like maybe the past week or month or something like that, where we kind of go over different content creators. So no pressure, but right now, content creator that I've really been enjoying their stuff has been Geeks A. Geeks A. I think I'm saying that right because he's Canadian.
On Twitch?
He's on Twitch. His main platform is YouTube, but he does actually, and I know I see Trevor's on the notes here as well. He does EFT videos, so Escape from Tarkov.
Oh, cool.
Which has been like kind of taking over Twitch right now. It's been absolutely dominating. And there is the learning curve is so steep that I haven't looked up like a how-to video since like TFT, like what beginner's guide. So he's incredibly helpful. He's to the point. He makes videos on purpose. I can't tell you how many videos I found on EFT that's like, how do I do this one mission? And it's a 20-minute video. And it's like, look, guy, I don't have time
doing the whole thing,
for
right?
20 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Just tell me how to do it. Like,
yeah, it's worst.
God, I can't stand it.
The worst.
Anyway, he calls his like group and everything the nerds, and so he says nerds constantly, which I can really relate to. I call everyone nerds. His voice is very soothing, and he just does really good videos. His main platform is YouTube. He does stream as well, but it's Geekse. That's GEEKSEH, like Geekse.
Looks like he has a very manly mustache too.
Yeah, absolutely does. Absolutely does.
He's a gentleman.
So he's a Canadian content creator. He's really good stuff. So, Trevor, who's your content creator of the week?
Another Escape from Tarkov streamer / really talented guitarist, evidently, and also YouTuber. Veritas. It's Veritas. Yeah, I believe that's how it's pronounced.
I think it's Diablo. I think it's how it's pronounced.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Veritas on both YouTube and Twitch. Again, really good at explaining what he's doing in games or why he is running certain loadouts or why guns or ammo are better than others. And he's pretty chill. It's pretty funny. And EFT has just been kind of I'm trying to get into it more, trying to play a lot more off stream, just because there's a lot to consume and a lot of things to try and a lot of like things to be trying to do. And it's funny when evidently Paul and I shoot each other. So
apparently that's
funny and fun. And I like
Not
playing
me.
Couldn't be you. So me. Yes, I recommend him. He's a cool guy, and he's growing a lot from this game too. So trying to give a little bit of love to the people that kind of have been playing games for a while, that where before it, maybe got a little bit of traction and then and kind of getting the come up from it. I think that's pretty awesome. I love that Twitch can do that. So
yeah,
that's great.
100%.
Last time you guys were playing, I was in Paul's chat, saying I would give a dono if he shot Dr. Lupo, just trying to imagine what chaos that would create. He didn't bite, but we got a lot of the chat pretty much involved. It got up to about $50 just to shoot him in the foot, just one little bullet, just to see how he would react. But he didn't.
In reality, he gets way more mad if you let him be shot by someone else than if you physically shoot him.
Yeah. I've also noticed that
we do too much. We're just not looking. One time, you both were looting the same body when that scav killed him, and he lost. And then you killed me. When I came running up, you killed me. Hearing the panic in your voice, you're like, "Oh, that was you."
Oh man!
But at the same time, I lose everything, but it's still funny. So, I almost don't want to get too serious. You know what I mean?
How such a serious game can be like such levity. It's like so fun.
There's a weight to it. Like you watch one of those streams and you are just like everything is quiet, everything is slow, and you're anxious instantly for the person.
Yeah,
wild.
Except for your own footsteps that sound like you're putting out a cigarette on concrete every time you walk, and you're like, "What am I doing?" It's just, but in reality, they have the anti-noise canceling headphones, the opposite of noise canceling headphones on. So whatever,
microphones in their ears.
Yeah, I didn't know those existed, but evidently people do that.
Incredible.
Jeremy, shot going off by you. Anyway.
Do you have anyone that you've been watching or paying attention to this week?
Yeah. I think whenever I need like a pick me up, I also Tarkov streamer just started, I guess.
No way.
Is One Shot Girl.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Julie.
I love Julie. I think
Such a previous guest, Julie. Yeah.
I think she's awesome. Like
Friend of the show.
She essentially like is so warm and inviting to her stream. And when you show up, not only does she say hello, like everyone in her chat is also like, "Yo, hey, it's been a while. Like, what's going on?" You know, like it's if ever I need a pick me up, like I'll hang out with her for sure. And she's incredible. And then I think one on Twitter that might be cool mentioning is, have you guys heard of the L Lance?
No.
He does. He does the funny like Twitch chat videos, right?
Yeah. So he's the one that puts like Twitch on his face, like with a piece of paper, and then
that guy is hilarious.
Yeah. If you guys want to check him out, he's twitter.com/theLLance. You'll find him, and he posts videos of like what it's like essentially to be a streamer and some of the weird things that happen as a streamer, and does a great job of like the girl that got all the flack not too long ago for
did you make a video for that? I didn't see it.
Yelling at her like audience because they aren't subbed. Like, what are you doing? You're just loitering. Like, I need to make money. And like he made a whole video on that, and it's hysterical. Like he's a genius. He's a comical genius, and he also streams too, which is cool. So I would say check him out as well.
Cool. Oh my gosh, when Shroud went to Mixer, I don't know if I've laughed harder at a video in a while.
Yes. So
that Shroud going to Mixer video was gold.
It's gold.
Oh my
gosh. Absolutely gold. Yeah. He's a genius. He's a comical genius.
I feel like he should put all of his effort into just Twitter at this point. Like just something happens in the gaming sphere, make a video. Like
I don't think he can monetize it though. That's a bummer.
Yeah, you got to grow up. Like
have something else to monetize it. And I think that's why he's doing Twitch.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Twitter's not.
Yeah, not that he shouldn't do Twitch by any means. It's just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Those Twitter videos.
American Dad's very similar too. He does a lot of that stuff, and he's heavy on Twitter. Actually, quick little side shout out to him, and I think we're gonna have him on the show eventually too. I mean,
oh yeah, that'd be great.
He's been doing really well too. Been following him. Great.
Yeah.
So he's another guy. American Dad's another guy who makes similar stuff.
Great.
Once you watch all of those other ones, go watch all of those other ones. All right.
Exactly. I hope you made a list. Viewers, listeners, everyone.
It was a good day. It was a good day. Wow, what a show, guys.
What a show. What a show.
We really nailed it, dude.
I had fun.
Everyone.
I had a lot of fun.
Everyone, Joe, what do you got going on? You got anything going on the short term?
Excuse me? Did you just choke?
What was that? What was that? Was that the animal?
Right? Oh, no, that was an audience applauding.
Oh, okay. It just kept going. That was awkward.
It disappeared.
Like yeah, that's weird. That was scary.
That's what I meant. No. This is no.
Oh God.
That's an animal noise.
Okay, we got it.
It just keeps going though.
Dolphins.
Okay. So what's next for your stream? You got anything in the short term? Any merch? Any projects? Any special streams? Anything going on?
I really enjoy creating scenes around moments And so I've got a bunch of that stuff in the works. I'm a big green screen friend. I love creating moments that are green screenable. So I've got a bunch of stuff along those lines that I'm excited for that will hand tailor to an experience or thing that happens in the stream pretty often. And the app has taken up a lot of time. Like it's been a huge process, and it is taken up a good chunk of my time. So I'd love to be able to come to a place where I can simplify that so I can focus more primarily on Twitch. I think the last few months I've been focusing more on the app, more on the content creation side, and now I want to push back into Twitch, but also I really need to work on my YouTube, and I'm looking for an editor to kind of like help me manage my content in that space. That is my weakest content creation space is my YouTube. So I'd love to be able to enhance that quite a bit more than what I have already. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Similarly, I feel like YouTube is definitely an area to focus on. It could be very, very beneficial to grow a channel. For sure. So good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Trevor, take us out, dude.
All righty. Before we go, I want to give a huge shout out to our review of the week from Trevor Talladay. No, I didn't name. Yes, I did. You caught me.
Did you back up from the mic?
No, I'm right here. Hello? Did it cut out?
This part up, dude.
It did.
You're screwing this part up.
Stop leaning.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna back up. Beep, beep, beep.
Slow it down.
And we're back. Before we go, huge shout out to our review of the week from Trevor Talladay. They said, Trevor and Paul are hilarious, but find a way to balance the humor with genuine conversation in a way that keeps me hooked on the entire episode. The format provides a way to get to know the guests by asking them each of the same questions initially, but branching out after they really get to know them. Genuinely can't wait for each new episode. Does that person have a degree in English? Because that was beautiful.
That was amazing.
Thank you so much, Trevor. That was really nice. Don't forget to leave a rating yourself, and you may just make next week's show, or maybe the week after that, or possibly even the week after that. Yeah, you heard it here first. I might not retire.
Will you not, though?
I think he's done.
Did this episode help break? Like
it helped a little bit, but just like, okay, there's got to be some mystery. So am I gone or am I not?
Will he be back?
I just back it up 1 second to the review. Really quick. Sorry, I thought that Trevor, the reviewer, said Trevor and Paul are hilarious, but find a way to balance the humor with genuine conversation.
But
I was like, geez,
but
man,
it's trash. And I actually didn't read it before I put it in here. And okay,
sorry, wasn't deep enough for you.
Yeah. That was really funny. Actually, they did. Yeah. Now that I read it,
it just I know what they're trying to say.
How you read it.
Yeah,
it's how you read it. And I chose to be positive. So
yeah, there you go. I blindly think my podcast the best. Thanks.
I blindly think my podcast is the best. This is the May Contain Action podcast. You can listen on all major carriers of podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play, SoundCloud, or you can watch the VOD on YouTube. 5-star ratings and leave a review. Always appreciated. Who knows? You still might be on the next episode. Also, go follow May Contain Pod at May Contain Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you accidentally put an action somewhere in there, it is wrong, and you need to change it.
Made that mistake.
Thank you. I am Trevor May on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. Trevor May Baseball is my second YouTube channel if you're interested in learning about the game of baseball and how to play it effectively. And Trev May 65 on Instagram because I needed one thing to be different, evidently. So, Paul?
My name's Paul, and I'm left out of everything. So you can find me twitch.tv/ActionJaxon. That's ActionJaxon. Twitter and Instagram at ActionJaxonBTW. That's B, a T, and a W. I'm also on TikTok now, and I made a TikTok about a Fortnite dance. Yeah.
Go like it.
It went kind of viral.
It's awesome. 100%.
It was big on Twitter. So there's potential. All you have to do, guys, is go watch it and then just let it keep playing and then share it with your friend. That's the best way to get it to go.
I want to be immortalized in Fortnite. Let me be a dance.
Please.
Go look at my dance. Please.
Thank you, guys.
Also, sub to my YouTube, youtube.com/ActionJaxon. That's all I got, dude. That's it.
That is it for the show. See you later. Bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye. We love you.
We did it.